Yeah, you're good.
Retard kid. Seems like you've got some
Yes,
fucking
mate.
big news, mate.
Yes, mate. Going to wheelload final. Yeah. First year of comp, and I'm there. Yeah. Also, do I get my match ball for being the third time on? Like, do I get the match ball signed?
I think so. Yeah, you get like the
Everything
match
is set.
dumbbell, don't you?
Yeah. I'll take that.
Maybe a
Yeah,
little
mate. So I've done it.
barbell, pink barbell that goes
I'll
well
take
with
it.
your little garage gym.
I'll take it, mate. All day long. Yeah. So yeah, got managed to do it first year of competition. Some more records being broken. First British dwarf to go compete. So yeah, see what happens in it now.
It's fucking huge, man.
All right.
How
Yeah.
you feeling with that, mate?
Yeah. It wasn't what I was expecting. I'm buzzing. It wasn't what I was expecting at the start of the year. Like I went into this whole journey blind. Like I'll be honest, I started all of this and it was as a result of a bit of a breakup, and I was like, "Well, I'm going to prove to myself I can do stuff. I'm going to look better. I'm going to be the man. I'm going to, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
went
we've
into
all
it for the
been
wrong
there.
reasons, but as soon as I met the people, as soon as I met the people and saw what community was there and what people could actually do, I was just like, yeah, I'll ride this wave and see how far it's gone. And I think since January when I started with Amanda and her squad, I've done 3 competitions now. Uh, well, three in-person competitions, 2 qualifiers, online qualifiers, and then yeah, I've now got to my first final. So yeah, in 1 year, I'm in my first year of actual competing. Yeah, I'll take it all day long. All right, so yeah, it's really good.
Mate, it's funny how you say you're doing it for wrong reasons because sometimes we do the right thing for wrong reasons, and you kind of have to ride that
Yeah.
storm until, oh, okay, cool. Now I've got a different set of motivations.
Mhm.
I'm kind of lit up rather than like running away and running towards something. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, like that's gonna change. Your motivation's gonna change. That inspiration pool that you're gonna draw from is gonna change, and that's all right.
Mhm.
You've just got to fucking do something while you're in the shit.
Yeah. 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 Absolutely. Like I say, it's that mindset in it of okay, why am I doing it? And I say wrong reasons. That's probably a bit harsh for me. It was I think we spoke about it before, seeing a picture of myself and just being like, that's not who I am. And
Yeah.
then through that as well, I've accepted as well that my mental health wasn't in the right place either. Uh, so like many people potentially having a drink on an evening turns into one or two, then it turns into every night and never close to being an alcoholic, but drinking more than you should, like just not dealing with emotions that you've actually got. And for me, I was finding that my escape was CrossFit. So it quickly became my right reasons was doing it for my mental health as well as my physical health.
Mm.
And that's just something that has carried on throughout the year. Like there's been about it before we came on, but definitely over the last couple of months, I've felt my mental health dipping. Now, part of that's been I've had an injury on my left wrist, so I've not been able to compete, not having any competitions or not thinking I had any competitions to really train for. So I lost my motivation a little bit. But then sort of reset myself, the finals coming up, getting that through. I was like, right, okay, I've got something to focus on again. But then I was sort of like, okay, why is it when I've got something to aim for that my mental health seems good? Like as guys, none of us talking up, and I was like, I need to get on top of this because there's not always going to be competitions. So how do I fix it? And thankfully now I've got a cracking therapist, so I'm speaking things through and learning that as much as CrossFit's a part of my life, I also need to work on other things, and that's been a big thing for me. But CrossFit was the one thing that made me realize how important mental health was. So if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now. And it's just, yeah, nothing but positives for me in terms of this whole journey. And to end it with a final in America in person, yeah, just it seems like a nice way to end it. Or end this year anyway, because then next year is when it kicks on for me. Like, so this is the
Yeah.
foundations. 2024 is on, and then 2025. Me and Amanda have been calling it Project 2025. Like that's the year I start winning comps. Like that's my target. So
Mm.
like not just winning them, but winning them properly. So I'm looking forward to that. But definitely got the motivation now. Like one final in person, and you'll have seen it online as well. Like I've been sponsored with my accommodation by Daptayon, which has been great. But then all the other people that chipped in and sponsored, like in less than 4 days, over 900 quid was raised to send me to the competition. And it's like that's a wealth of love and happiness and stuff like that. So like I can't thank people enough for that, which has been epic. So
I mean, that's testament to
yeah,
your
it's been
character,
good.
like, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
whether you believe it or not,
And that's
you're at
what I'm
least a
thankful
half
for the
decent
fact that
bloke.
I'd like to think I'm a half decent bloke. So yeah, I'll take that. And if
Precisely.
people have been willing to chip in and believe in me, like it's what makes me it's what makes me realize that the things that I thought about myself or whatever are really good, and people are there backing it up. So yeah, it's good. It's nice. Feel the love. It's nice. It's nice to feel loved.
And it's the absolute shit right there when you said you used the physical stuff to be able to deal
Mm,
with going upstairs. And then you came to the
mm,
realization yourself of there's not always going to have these competitions. You're not always going to have this physical outlet. You know, body will deteriorate at one
mm.
point. You know, it's not anytime
Yeah,
soon, but it will do at one point. You won't have this competition where
yeah,
you'll have to go in with full fucking nuts. Again, not anytime soon, hopefully, fingers crossed. But again, it's going to be one point.
mm,
You know, we have
yeah, yeah.
conversations all the
So
time of athletes losing their identity, coming out post sport, whether that's professional sport, whether
mm,
that's Olympic Games. You know, you get the post Olympic blues. You know, whether
mm,
that's a 16, 17, 18-year-old knocking on the door of professional sport, gets a career-ending injury. What do they do now? They start
mm,
drinking all the time. They start gambling, you know, stuff like that because they've lost that outlet. If we build
mm.
our house on straw or on sand,
Yeah,
you know, it's fucked, right? It can go as high as it
yeah,
wants, but as soon as the wind changes direction or the tides come back in,
yeah,
we're buggered. So I
yeah.
like to think
Absolutely.
about fitness being a catalyst to
Mm,
improve our
yeah,
lives, right? It's the start.
yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It's what you do with that, and like I say, it's not going to be there forever. So you've got to decide then what are you going to do when it does end. And for me, I've definitely learned this year that as great as physical health is, and it is mental health in itself. If you're not taking part of the mental health, then everything else is going to fall by the wayside because ultimately that is your bread and butter. That's what's going to keep you going. So yeah, you're absolutely spot on with that. Like I've never heard the analogy before of building it on sand, but it is without mental health, you're setting yourself up for a fall. And certainly over the last few months, that's what I've learned more than else is to take care of that side of things. And I've seen more people opening up about it, and that encouraged me to share what I shared the other month, and then I've had people reach out and say equally it's helped them. So I think it is we just need to get to a point where everyone's comfortable talking about it. And sadly, we're not there yet, and sadly, some people will be affected by it and will have lost friends, family members, or whatever. I'm very lucky that I have that support network around me. But I do think it is something that everyone needs to be a bit mindful of. And if I can reach out to someone to speak or speak to a professional or a therapist or whatever, because I think back in the day it used to be maybe seen as a bit of a sign of weakness, whereas now it's not. It's a strength. We all understand mental health better. We need to look out for ourselves because the world is a horrible place at the moment. Let's be honest, and it is getting to everyone, and people are being impacted by it. So we need to encourage people to have that chat with other people, just to reach out, just to say I'm not all right, and start putting up those foundations in place so that they don't have those days again and they can be stronger. And then that's directly going to impact your physical health because you're like, yeah, I'm going to smash this, I'm going to get on it, and I'm going to be the best version of me. But it all starts by doing, even if it starts with your physical health, you've got to be mindful of your mental health as well on there because you need to have them foundations in place.
I mean, if you want to talk mental health, look no further than the working class.
Yeah,
Talk
yeah,
about like vice-ridden, like kind of addiction gripped
mm-hmm.
people. Just like, okay, well, you do your 9 to 5, you do your 8 to 7 or whatever the fuck it is, right? You do a hard
Mm-hmm.
day's graft, and then what do? It's like they're
Mm-hmm.
desperate, man. They're desperate. Then drink a shitload. They're smoking all the time. They're fucking jerking off in toilets. They're doing something just for like for whatever it is,
There
right?
is,
It doesn't matter. And you're like, all
yeah,
right, okay, well, if you're doing this at fucking 15, right?
yeah,
What are you going to be like at 45? You're probably not going to be here, mate. You're going to be on a tree swinging
yeah,
from a noose.
yeah,
Look no further, mate. Like this is an entire problem. It spreads across descriptive boundaries and boxes that it's like, oh, okay, I'm blonde, like you're whatever. They're fucking American, whatever. It spreads across all of that. It just completely swallows it whole and just be like, it doesn't matter you got fucking
yeah,
pennies in
yeah,
your pocket or not.
yeah. It doesn't discriminate, does it, at all? And there's people that could have everything and still not be messed around. Robin Williams, for example,
Yeah.
everyone look at him and look at him, and that's the thing. And I think one thing I've noticed certainly amongst my friends is we're all being a lot more mindful of it. So like we have a 5-a-side, or we used to do a bit of 5-a-side, but not so much now with the weather and everything. But we were all using that as sort of like a bit of a counselling session where you come and you chat to everyone and you just see everyone's spirits lift a little bit because someone else was listening.
Yeah.
Like you say, some people don't have that. Some people are not willing to speak about it. Some people are not willing to reach out. So there's many people that are being lost and are battling demons on their own. And I think that's the really sad thing. And with everything that's going on in the morning, there's going to be more and more demons coming into people's lives. And some people will deal with it via fitness. Some people will deal with it via addiction. Some people won't deal with it at all. But end of the day, your mental health is still going to impact you. So you need to be looking at your coping mechanisms. And like I said, with myself, I was starting to go down the rabbit hole of my own mental health issues when my wrist went out, or my wrist was injured, I damaged my tendons, so I couldn't train. And I'd got that used to CrossFit being my escape, that as soon as I couldn't do it, I didn't have that escape anymore. So I was starting to feel down, I was starting to feel shitty about myself and whatever. And I knew I needed to snap out of it, but I didn't know how to snap out of it.
Yeah.
And then I just like had a couple of days where I just broke down completely. Like I think I was just walking down the stairs for no reason whatsoever, and I just started crying.
Yeah.
And I was like, this isn't me. Like, why the hell am I crying? Like for walking down the stairs, and I couldn't think of it. And I messaged Zoe, and I was like, I think we need to have therapy. I was like, I need to do something because I can't not at this point. Like I need to chat to someone and I need to start fixing things. Or if I'm not fixing it, I want to at least understand why I'm doing this and why this is happening. And yeah, but I spoke to other mates and they've had similar things, but some of them have maybe gone the other way and been like, oh, it's not an issue. I'll snap out of it. I'll start drinking or whatever, or I'll do this, or I'll do that. And I think that's the thing. If people aren't aware of what's out there and what resources are out there, or if they're not aware that other people are going through it, they don't know how to deal with it. And for me, I was seeing on Instagram that people were speaking to therapists and people were having their own issues. I was like, do you know what? I'm going to give this a go because I need to fix it. I'm glad I have. I've only had 2 sessions at the moment, but I'm already starting to see the benefits of it and accepting what triggers that are out there, what works for me, what doesn't, and it'll be an ongoing journey. But I'm just glad it's now alongside my CrossFit. So yeah, it's been positive for me so far.
That's beautiful, man. Going alongside a double-pronged
Yeah,
approach, and I think
yeah, well,
if we ever look through life, we've got less and less interactions because more's going online, more's going onto these like depots, like Amazon's
yeah,
fucking delivering to your door with Prime and shit like that. And you're like, well, High
yeah,
Street's dead, pubs are shutting down in UK. You now got
yeah,
like fucking less community centers. You can barely go to the British Legion anymore because you got to be a member, or like, so you can't go play a game of snooker or pool or whatever, right? And you're like, you're rubbing shoulders with less people,
yeah,
so you've got less
yeah,
opportunity to say hello to
yeah,
somebody.
yeah, absolutely.
And I find it quite often that it is strangers, right? When you have a pleasant interaction with a stranger, hey mate, you all right? Yeah, yeah, good day, how are you?
Yeah,
Or it goes, you know what? shit day, but we're getting through it. I was like, mate, tell me about it. Have a good
Yeah,
day. You know, something like that. Or
yeah,
you hold the door open for a stranger. They do the
yeah.
same. Just something menial, like 5 seconds. And
It,
it's those little things that stick with you for the rest of the day.
yeah, yeah. Like someone just giving you a smile or a wave or whatever, and it just goes back to that whole. People need to treat each other how they want to be treated. Like you say,
Yeah.
if everyone's working from home or whatever, like because I saw in the news, like you say about Amazon, even they're now looking at delivering by drones. So it's another interactions being
Yeah.
taken away. Or or if you're looking at dating, that's all online as well. So
Online,
that's
yeah.
dealing with rejection, or most jobs are an element in online, and especially for someone like myself that's currently single living on my own, there is that less and less interaction. And I train as well now most of the time in my own garage because I'm on a set program. So I've had to be mindful of that as well. And like I say, it's how you deal with it. And I think that's the thing that people need to realize is we need to look out for everyone and like just having check-ins. And thankfully, like I said, I've got good mates that have been doing that, and got Zoe now as well, therapy and everything. So it's all been positive in now, but at the time, yeah, it's been quite rough. But like I said,
Mhm.
I think as a society, we need to get better at speaking to people and interacting with people. And I think
Mhm.
that's where CrossFit's such a great thing, especially when you're at competitions that you're around everyone and everyone just wants to cheer you on and have a laugh and it'd be great and all that. Like especially with the adaptive comps in the UK at the moment, like there's so many of them where everyone's fighting physical demons or some people have got neurological conditions that you can't necessarily see, all fighting demons. But for that one day, that one session, that one competition, they've got everyone in that place cheering for them. They've got everyone in that place wanting to and push themselves and be the best. And you, like I've walked out of there, out of every single competition. The first one I ever did, I cried just because I was that happy about it. The second one I did, I was like, I'm going to smash it. Third one, even better. But I always come out there feeling like I'm 7 foot tall and I could take on the world. And it's just that's what for me is what CrossFit is at its core. Is everyone just walking out of that gym, that box, that competition, feeling better than they were when they walked into it. And it's a great feeling, but it's what you do after that high has ended. So you need it's just what people put in place as well. And I think that's something that we still need to get better at as a society.
Yeah. I think when this thing started and we were making community gyms, boxes and all that, I think we knew
Mm,
that it was quite potent, people coming together, and then you end up developing friends, right? But I really didn't think
mm,
we knew the
mm,
extent of it.
mm,
And like,
mm.
as I think about this quite regularly, as technology, it's exponential, right? It increases
Yeah,
at an increasing rate, right? It's that bell curve. It's just going up and up and up and up. And you're like, right, okay, well, if we're doing that, if we're going so far in that direction, we have to make a conscious decision
mm,
to go in the other direction too, and kind of, all right, let's spend a little bit of time, as in slow everything down. Let's come off the
mm.
technology. Let's talk to another fucking human being. Let's go be in
Yeah, yeah.
nature. Let's be in a less stressful environment. Those types of things,
Mhm.
you know. And I think we didn't quite know the extent of the benefit
Yeah,
of the community. And now it's
yeah,
coming
yeah,
to the forefront. What CrossFit is, 20 years old,
yeah,
22,
yeah,
21 years old, something like that.
yeah, yeah,
Um, and it's funny. It's funny how you're like, oh, yeah, we've been doing that, but we didn't really know how or why. But like,
mm,
oh shit, this is bigger than we thought. We've got to get some
yeah,
like smart people in here, like therapists and doctors and
yeah,
whatever, whatever, whatever. And you're like, right, guys, how do we like keep this thing and how do we keep the ship afloat?
yeah, yeah.
It's
Absolutely.
massive. And
Yeah,
that's why
it
it's
is.
important for small businesses to be able to survive,
Yeah,
regardless of the country, because it's
yeah,
for a lot of folk, it's the lifeline from, and it's their only lifeline.
yeah,
You know how
yeah. It's
fucking
like
crazy that thought is? For someone to do
it's
a 6
terrifying.
a.m. class or a fucking 5 a.m. class or an 8:30 p.m. class, their 1 hour is their one lifeline.
Yeah, yeah, it's terrifying, isn't it? Like, yeah, but
I mean, it
I
is, man.
guess, yeah, yeah. But just honest, and it's what we do and what we talk about. But yeah, so definitely thankful I got into this journey and met people like yourself and the squad I'm in and the people and the love that's out there. Because if anyone isn't feeling love, get on Instagram and follow everyone in CrossFit. Like you'll soon see the love that's out there, and it's just like as bad as social media is for a lot of things. I think the CrossFit community in general is quite a positive place, and joining the CrossFit community is hands down the best decision I've made in my life. Not just this year, like the CrossFit is this year is partly why this year for me is going to go down as one of my best years I've ever had in 35 years of existence.
Fuck.
But it's definitely up there as being one of the best decisions I've made for myself in my life, and it's yeah. I always said I'd never be one of them CrossFit people. I've still gone so far the other way now. I'm like fully converted. Like looking at the new Metcons, even I'm on the current ones are absolutely fine. Looking at all the gym equipment I can get by and all that, but it's just all in on it, baby, because it's just the best thing I've ever done, like without doubt. So yeah, it's good.
Hmm. What's the biggest thing you've learned?
Yeah, for me, they're double unders. For me,
You
it's
say
the
double
mental
unders.
thing. Double unders. For me, it's a mental thing. Like not just mental health in terms because I know we spoke a lot about it and it's been a bit of a down kind of serious conversation, but your mind is so much stronger than you think it is. Like because me and Amanda, sorry, were looking at one of my videos in person the other day, and I just couldn't get the clean to the next wave. And she's like, "But you're doing everything before it. You can do it." She went, "Just come look at this video." She was like, "Is your mind that's stopping you?" Showed me the video. She was like, literally, she was like, "You've got the bar up to it. All you need to do is just get your elbows." And she's like, "But you chickened out of it. Your mind has like stopped you from doing it." And I don't know what it was. I just went to her and went, "I can do it," literally straight up. And it's like, no, that's it. It's your mind. Like 9 times out of 10, if you're not doing something, it's because you're thinking you can't. And it was just seeing a video, believing in myself. I went there, smashed it, got it straight up. I think that's what I've learned more than else is if you're doing training regularly, your body's naturally going to get stronger. What's going to stop you getting to that next step is a mental part of it. If you're going to think you can do it, you'll do it. And I think that's for me what I've learned more and what's been the biggest thing is just learning about the mental health side of things, but not mental health in terms of looking after my well-being, but just thinking positively and thinking I can do it. Because if I think I can, I will do. And that's been the biggest thing for me.
Yeah, man. And what a lot of people forget about is, we know if we work out, if we move our body, if we train, right? Like, yeah, we're probably going to get a bit stronger and a bit healthier
Mm.
and all those health markers. Yeah, man, fucking high five. Well done. You got off the couch. I'm proud of you. But like, yeah, if you
Yeah.
do hard shit, and sometimes that hard shit is not running a marathon, mate. It's just getting up at
Mm.
the time that you said you were going to get up. It's going
Yeah.
to the gym when you said you were going to go to the gym. And it's doing fucking anything.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what? The
Yeah.
barbell feels like a fucking ton right now. And you're like, yeah,
Yeah.
cool. Don't touch a barbell today. Do goblet squats
Yeah.
instead. Do air squats.
Yeah.
Sit on a fucking bike for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Stretch out. Just do some mobility. Whatever it is, right? Cruise through the fucking finish line.
Yeah.
You don't have to crush yourself and put yourself in a grave every time, but you do have to do
Yeah.
something subjectively hard.
Yeah. 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 Like I say, you just need to push yourself, and your body will always do what your mind tells it to do. So just do it. But I think, let's be honest, it's easy for some people. It's easy said and done, and you do have to go through that to realize that. And anyone that is listening that is thinking, "Oh well, you're making it sound easy." Yeah, maybe, but we've all had them days where it's not, and it is just getting into the habit of pushing yourself and thinking, right, I'm going to do it because I know the benefit of it will be that after I've done it, I will feel 10 times better about myself. And that is definitely what I've learned this year is that It's down to me and me pushing myself, not anyone else doing it for me. And that all starts with me thinking, right, I'm going to get up and I'm going to do it. And then once I've done it, after I finish, I'm going to feel amazing.
Yeah.
And like I say, it's just, even if it is just getting up and going for a walk, doing something, it'll be so good for your mind and your physical health that you'll feel 10 times better by yourself.
Yeah, I also think we get it twisted, and a lot of us, I've probably been guilty of this in the past. I've put out the wrong message in the sense of you need to crush yourself every fucking time.
Mm,
Like give every ounce of your fucking energy to
mm,
this thing. I was like,
mm.
nah, like we're supposed to add to our fucking lives, not take from it.
Yeah,
That's what this
yeah,
fitness thing is supposed to do,
yeah,
supplement it to benefit it, not just subtract from it all the time. So it's like, no,
yeah,
no, no, no. If you need to take your foot off the gas, then take
yeah,
your foot off the fucking gas. But do
yeah,
something. Do something, mate. Sometimes that's like,
yeah,
I'm gonna stay
yeah,
home. I've worked
yeah,
out 5 times this week. I'm gonna stay home and I'm gonna spend more time on my own, journaling, fucking watching
yeah,
telly, right? Chilling
yeah,
out, putting
yeah,
your feet up, whatever
yeah,
the fuck it is. I was
yeah,
like, you need to do something. And when it's a go day,
yeah,
it's a fucking go day. All
yeah.
right? I mean,
Yeah, it's a
let's have
Sunday
it.
day. Yeah,
Yeah, send it.
yeah,
Hard as
yeah,
a motherfucker, right?
yeah,
But you got to
yeah,
check in with yourself. And I think creating independent athletes is the way to go about it. Give athletes some
yeah,
autonomy. Yeah, okay. Here's
yeah,
2 lines. Don't step out of them. It's my coach. It's my job as the coach to make sure you don't step out of those fucking lines. But I'm
yeah,
going to make those lines as wide as possible so you can ping pong from side to side because you've got to figure this
yeah,
out. Because one day I'm going to leave and you
yeah,
need to be able to help yourself. One day
yeah,
you will be the only person left swimming. And what are you
yeah.
going to do? Are you going to drown? Hopefully not.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah.
So it's like, right,
And
check in with yourself. How
yeah,
do you
like I
feel?
said,
How's the wrist? How's the mental health? How's the fucking this, that, and the other? You're like,
yeah,
6 out of 10. You're like, okay, we can play with that. Maybe don't crush yourself with a
yeah,
6 out of 10, but still fucking move.
yeah,
How is it? Oh, I'm like, it's a miracle I got out of bed this morning. You're like, cool.
yeah,
Probably don't try and max out your deadlift.
yeah, yeah. Maybe I'll take an easy session. Like I say, it's that autonomy in it to do it to trust your athletes and for you as an athlete to trust yourself as well.
Yeah.
Like I'm fortunate with that with Manda. Like she's like, well, you got 5 days to do the program. Out of 7, picky Jimmy. Well, these are when I plan to them. If I need to change it, I'll change it. I'll still do the 5 days. And it's like I say, it's having that trust and checking in with yourself. And if it is a case of for my own sanity, my own mental health, I need to sit down, read a book, and not do anything today, fine. But you can surely shit better the day after that. If I'm saying I'm not training today, but I am tomorrow, you can guarantee I'm getting up and I'm training tomorrow because I owe it to myself and I owe it to my mental health, I owe it to my coach. And that I think that's the thing that people maybe find hard. If you get into that habit of putting it off, you're just going to keep putting it off.
Hmm.
And it's just a downward spiral at that point. And I think that's where that was definitely the biggest lesson for me was learning to trust my own judgment, but also my mental health and sticking to what I've said I'll do and doing it. Just because then I know for well at the end of it I'm going to feel $1 million.
Hmm.
So yes, it's a we can preach it and we can say whatever and we can offer advice and me and you have been through this and all that. But then for other people they might have to go on their own journey. But all I'd say to any of those people is there's a lot of people out there that have been through that journey. So reach out, trust in the advice that you're hearing, because it's no one's preaching. We're just the people that have been through it just trying to help a little bit
Hmm.
and trust the process. And I think that's a big thing for me is yeah, there's so many people out there that are willing to help everyone. It's just those people that need the help need to reach out and ask for it. Or if they're not asking for it, it's down to mates, family, coaches to check in with their athletes, with their friends, with their family. If they notice a change in someone, check in with them, see what's going on. Because then they need that help. If you've noticed someone's changed or has withdrawn or has whatever, it's for a reason. It's not because they're being rude. And it's down to everyone else at that point. If someone's not reaching out to at least check in and offer that support, because it's down to everyone to look out for people. And if we did that, we'd be a lot nicer place, isn't it?
Yeah, we definitely would be.
Uh,
I remember I used to have this rule where if I felt like shit for 3 days, I had to take a rest day on the fourth.
yeah,
And it was like not just sore. I mean, like you know when you sore and you know when you feel like shit, you're like, my joints don't feel
Yeah,
good. Or like fuck, I
yeah,
can't like walk straight, like tall. Like my back is all fucked up. Or like I had a poor sleep, so I'm gonna feel like shit. Whatever it is, right? If there was 3 consecutive days, the fourth had to
mm,
fucking be an off day.
mm,
And sometimes
yeah,
for people like us, you've got to put those barriers in place. So be like, no, no, no. I got to go
yeah,
through my checklist first to see whether I can go to the gym or not.
yeah,
And for the other
yeah,
side, it's usually like, here's a calendar, right? You've got your week. You find ways to do extra work in your week. There's a lot of people
mm,
out there that are fucking hard workers, mate. Right? Blue collar, white collar,
mm.
fucking trust fund babies. Like, it doesn't matter. Homeless.
A lot.
There's a lot of people who are hard workers. Be
Mhm,
like, well, here's your calendar. You make up time for meetings at fucking 3 a.m. or 10 p.m. Where's the time for the
mhm.
gym? They're
Yeah,
like, oh, I got no time. I was like, you fucking do, mate. Here it
yeah,
comes.
you'll
Here's the
find it.
calendar.
Yeah,
And you got to
yeah, you
schedule it
find
in.
it.
You're like, no, no, sorry, I got a meeting. And if
Yeah,
somebody's, it's a shared calendar and all that shit, I hate that bollocks. But if it is,
yeah,
literally schedule it out, meeting. No
yeah,
problem.
yeah,
Private meeting. Leave me alone.
yeah. Work around it. Yeah, yeah. Get it planned in. Do what works for you. But if you can't, if your calendar's that busy that you can't allocate an hour of time just to yourself and your own well-being, then you need to start looking at other things because that's not right.
And we
We should
got
all
bigger
have an hour.
problems.
We should all have at least an hour a day. Yeah. If you can't find an hour a day just for yourself, then that's a bigger issue than being fit. That's a lifestyle issue,
Yeah, not
aren't there?
even,
Because we all should take an hour to ourselves.
yeah, not even every day, man. Like, just start off
Yeah,
real small. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like painfully slow, like one session a week.
yeah,
Okay, cool. You've done that
yeah,
for fucking 4 weeks, 8 weeks. Cool. Can you do
mm,
two? Yeah, I can do two because it's like a tiny little step. You're like, brilliant. I've
yeah,
got you on the edge of the fucking fish hook. And it's like,
yeah,
oh, and then they find a second one. Then you do that for another
yeah,
fucking close to 8 weeks. And you're like, oh, can you do a third? Can we do Monday, Wednesday, Friday? You're like,
yeah,
yeah, that's easy. It's just another one.
yeah,
And you're like, bingo. Sometimes
yeah,
you have to
and
start that slow, mate. And like, I
yeah,
think people look at it as like, oh, I gotta start slow. There's no point doing it. It's like, no,
yeah.
just start with something.
It's the
Something.
foundations, isn't it? It's just the building blocks. Like you're gonna put in one brick at a time. Some people are
Legit.
faster, some people do it slowly, but as long as you're building it, that's all it is.
Legit, mate. Legit. And everybody has a different start position, mate. And strength is
Yeah,
relative. I remind people all the
yeah,
time, don't look around at other people's barbells. Don't look around at other people's complexity of skills. Don't look around at people's like calories per hour on the rower or the fucking watts on the bike or how fast they run a 200
yeah,
meters. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't fucking
yeah,
matter.
yeah,
Everything's relative. They're judging by how they
yeah,
feel from their day and what's going on in their lives. You should do the same.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you don't judge others, especially if someone's taken that first step themselves. If anything, encourage them. Like you're on your own journey, your own path, and people are going to go on different journeys. They might go on similar ones, but ultimately it'll be unique because we're all doing things for different reasons. We're all blazing our own trails, and we're all doing what we want to do. And I don't think anyone should be judged for what they're doing with their own lives,
Mm-hmm.
especially if someone's getting into fitness. Let them do what they want to do in their own way, but just encourage them.
Mm-hmm. Robert, thank you again, man.
Right, anytime. It's a pleasure speaking to you. It's very quick for the soul speaking to you. Right,
Behave
so yeah, I love
yourself.
it, mate.
Fucking behave.
And enough of that sloppiness for today, but
Right.
enough of that sloppiness. But yeah, it was. I think for someone like this is Mental Health Awareness Month, and we needed to have a chat like this as well, and a Authors Awareness Month as well. So, happy to be on and shout for both causes. To be honest.
Fucking, I love it, mate. A northerner's gonna go across the pond and show those freedom fighters what it's
Yeah.
about.
Oh, mate, I keep saying I'm not going over there to make up the numbers. Like I said, especially with everyone behind me as well. Like
I
I
love it,
am,
mate.
like everyone keeps saying like there's no pressure, but for me there is. Like for me, I'm going out there for myself, but I'm going out there to prove to all the people that have supported me, have fundraised for me, have donated for me, and everything, and really pushed me on this journey. Like I'm doing it for them because I'm never doing anything for myself. I'm doing it for everyone else, and like I'm going out there to prove people right that yeah, you can believe in me, and I will smash it.